All right, today we are going to tackle one of those classic head scratchers in English grammar. When do you use a verb with an ing at the end, and when do you use to plus a verb? Let's dive in and solve this puzzle for good.
So you've probably run into this exact situation. I enjoy reading. I want to read. Both are talking about the same activity, right? So why can't you just swap them? It feels kind of random, but I promise you there's a system behind it all, and we're about to figure it out.
And yeah, this chart shows you exactly what I mean. Saying I enjoy to read or I want reading, it just sounds off, doesn't it? That feeling in your gut is actually grammar at work. The secret is that these two verb forms, gerunds and infinitives, have different jobs.
To solve any puzzle, you've got to know what the pieces are, right? So let's properly introduce our two key players here, the gerund and the infinitive. First up, we've got the gerund. Now think of this as a verb that's kind of in disguise. It's acting like a noun. The formula is super simple. Just take a verb and stick ing on the end. So in a sentence like swimming is fun, swimming isn't what someone is doing. It's the name of the activity. It's the subject of the sentence, which is a job for a noun.
And here's our second piece, the infinitive. This is basically the verb in its most basic, stripped-down form, and you can usually spot it because it has the word to in front of it. It's often used to show purpose or intention. So when I say, I want to travel, the to travel part explains what my intention is, what it is that I want.
Okay, so now that we know our players, how do they actually fit together in a sentence? Well, the first big rule is that some verbs are just picky. They only want to partner up with a gerund, or they only want to partner up with an infinitive.
Check out this list. These verbs here, they're team gerund all the way. They will always be followed by a verb ending in ing. See enjoy right there at the top? That's our guy from the first example. That's why it's always I enjoy reading. Same goes for finish in she finished writing, or avoid in he avoids eating too much. And on the flip side, we have this crew. These verbs will always team up with an infinitive, the to plus verb form. And there's wants from our original puzzle. That's exactly why we have to say, I want to read. The verb want just demands an infinitive partner. Same with words like decide or plan. You just have to learn which verb prefers which partner.
Okay, I hope you're ready, because here's where things get really interesting. We've got a twist in our puzzle. Some verbs are like grammar chameleons. They can actually partner with either a gerund or an infinitive. But you have to be careful, because the meaning of the sentence can change completely.
Let's start with the verb stop. This one is a classic. If you say, I stopped smoking, that means you quit the habit. It's over. You're done with it. But if you say, I stopped to smoke, whoa, completely different story. That means you were doing something else, like walking, and you paused in order to have a cigarette. Huge difference, right? Remember is another great one, and it kind of plays with time. When you use the gerund, like, I remember locking the door, you're looking back into your memory. It's a past event. But when you use the infinitive, remember to lock the door, it's a reminder for the future. It's something you still need to do.
And then there's try. Now this one's a bit more subtle, but so useful. Try opening the window is just a simple suggestion, like an experiment. It's hot in here. Try opening the window. Easy. But try to open the window implies that it's difficult. You can almost feel the struggle, right? The window is stuck, and you need to make an effort.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of verb lists to memorize. So to make your life way easier, let me give you two cheat codes. These are two powerhouse rules that are basically unbreakable, and they solve a huge chunk of this puzzle instantly.
Here they are. First, if a verb comes after a preposition, words like in, on, at, without, it is always a gerund. No exceptions. She is interested in learning. Bam. Second, if you're explaining the purpose, the why behind an action, you always use an infinitive. Why do you study? To pass the exam. These two rules alone are total game changers.
So we've got our puzzle pieces, the partner verbs, those tricky meaning changers, and our amazing cheat codes. Now let's put it all into practice and see how we can squash some of those really common mistakes people make.
This chart just lays it all out so clearly. I enjoy to read? Nope. We know enjoy is on team gerund, so it has to be reading. I decided going home? Decide is on team infinitive, so it has to be to go. And that last one, he left without to say goodbye. Without is a preposition, and what did our cheat code tell us? It's gotta be saying. See? It all connects.
At the end of the day, while these rules are fantastic tools, The real goal is to get to a point where this stuff just feels automatic. Mastery here really comes from exposure. The more you read and listen to English, the more your brain just starts to recognize these patterns, and you'll choose the right one without even thinking about it.
So there you have it. You officially have the tools to solve this grammar puzzle with confidence. So here's my challenge to you. What's one new sentence you can make right now using what you've just learned? Go ahead, give it a shot. After all, you have to practice to get better.